It's the penultimate game of the season for Mamelodi Sundowns, one they cannot afford to lose as they look to keep up their long-standing reign as South African champions. They draw with Kaizer Chiefs on Wednesday, opens the door for Orlando Pirates to edge them to the title, but the race still not yet concluded. There could still be some thrilling twists and turns ahead in the next couple of weeks. Siwelele are tonight's opponents for Sundowns, a tough prospect. They've still got an opportunity for a top 8 place. They've already taken points off Pirates away from home 2 months ago. They beat Kaizer Chiefs some 10 days ago, and indeed they held Sundowns to a draw when the two sides met in Bloemfontein in December. This will be no walkover for the champions, who are desperate for a full haul of points here tonight. Big warm welcome to Stanton Fredericks alongside as our expert analysts. Is the title race over after that draw with Chiefs?
It's we're gonna have to see how it pans out tonight, but difficult to call. Mamelodi Sundowns let it slip with the 2 draws against Stellenbosch as well as Richards Bay, and then lastly against Kaizer Chiefs. So that put Orlando Pirates firmly in control. The championship in his Orlando Pirates' hands now. 3 wins and they will see the title with a goal difference.
And remember, they play tonight 8 o'clock away at Magese in Polokwane. That game live on your World of Champions directly after this match. So Sundowns can go 6 points clear if they win this one, but they would have played 2 games more. Their last game is on Tuesday against Galaxy. Pirates will know the permutations with matches to come against Durban City next weekend and Orbit College on the final day of the season on the 23rd of May. This is the Sundowns lineup for today. Injury sees Keanu Cupido out, Grant Kekana into defense, Jaden Adams suspended after a red card against Chiefs, so Nuno Santos in, and Letlako gets an opportunity. He replaces Tembazwane in the starting lineup.
And they'll line up with 4-3-3. That front 3 very dynamic in Leon through the middle, and Matthews and Letlako on either wing.
So let's see what this star-studded Sundowns lineup can do here. It's been a disappointing week for them so far. But can they keep alive those hopes here tonight against Siwelele? Miguel Cardoso not been in the best of moods, understandably, over the last couple of days. This is the Siwelele side. They've been playing a lot of youngsters of late, but some respect shown for Mamelodi Sundowns with the return of Mokoane in midfield, Potsane on the right-hand side, and also Jape Moralo in the heart of the midfield alongside Markoman and Mokoane.
Yeah, that midfield trio is going to have to be solid when they come up against Allende Mokoena as well as Santos, and then the speedy Potsane on one flank and Lungu through the middle. He'll operate as a false 9, dropping deep and trying to pick up play there for Siwelele this evening.
Letlonolo Siema with Willem Jackson as his assistant, and also Onismo Basera. 3 players, or 3 gentlemen I should say, who had wonderful playing careers. From Port Shepstone, our referee comes today, Skumbiso Gaza, former referee of the season. Polani Hlachwayo and Janshi Tlamini are the 2 linesmen for a key tie here this evening. Good pitch conditions. This Attridgeville surface at one stage in the season was really in a bad way, but they've fixed it up very nicely. It looks as if these 2 teams will be able to play some decent football, and they did water this pitch as well inside the last hour, so that'll help the ball move a little faster. So here's how the standings look at the moment. Remember, we've already had 4 games this weekend, all of them draws, none of them really affecting that top half, but 3 points is the difference. But 1 game more Sundowns have played. They could go 6 clear. But as Stanton said, it's Pirates' championship now to lose. If Pirates win all 3 of their games, they will be crowned champions. Even if Sundowns win their last 2 matches, Pirates' goal difference is far superior to that of Sundowns. Pirates plus 41, Sundowns plus 34. There is a 7-goal swing, which you think would be very difficult for Sundowns to haul in here in the final stages of the season. So 8 successive campaigns they have been crowned champions. Is that crown finally going to slip tonight or potentially on Tuesday? we will see. The next 90 minutes crucial. If they don't win this one, Sundowns, well, they can kiss that championship goodbye. So they're attacking to the left of your screen, the defending league champions in their traditional Brazilian colors, the green of Siwelele, attacking here on the right, looking for Lungu in the middle. This is Jeza with battling. Rampani Lungu, who got his first goal of the season against Durban City on Wednesday, leading the line for Siwelele, and they forced the first set piece of the night. That's an interesting little early omen.
I remember the last time these two sides met, it ended in a draw. Mokoena getting the red card, and this is what Siwelele had done. Sat back nice and deep, and they used that speed of the likes of Potsane as well as Jeza on the wings, and immediately we see evidence thereof.
So, first corner comes inside the opening 2 minutes. Let's see what guns Siwelele have pushed forward. Certainly the big centre-backs, both Debele and Morbi are in there. Little flick on, bit of panic in that Sundowns defence, and then Aubrey Modiba gets a big hoof to it and clears it away. Be collected by Moralo. And Sundowns have the throw-in.
Siwelele will come into this match with the confidence of their performances against the other two big sides, Orlando Pirates as well as Kaizer Chiefs, thinking and feeling that they can get something from this encounter. They're also fighting for a top 8 position.
Unbeaten in their last 5 league matches, Siwelele, though 4 of those drawn, but creeping closer to the top 8. They're on 33 points. Golden Arrows directly above them in 8th spot on 37 after they drew earlier today. So there's a 4-point gap, but Arrows missing out on an opportunity. They drew 0-0 with Polokwane City earlier on today. If you missed the other scores, Galaxy cannot finish last now after picking up a precious point in a 1-1 home draw with Chippa United. Chippa are still in trouble. Orbit College 0, Amazulu 0. That's a good result for Orbit, who are now 3 points above bottom placed Magesi. And also a valuable point for Marumo Gallants. They drew 1-1 with Richards Bay. They are 2 points above Magesi, who play later on at 8 p.m. against Orlando Pirates at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. Here's Modiba with a inviting little ball over the head of Leon. Matthews trying to get it back here. Damani, nice and cool and calm and collected despite his young age. Hoping, of course, for a World Cup berth. The national team for the World Cup expected to be announced later this month. Here's Nuno Santos. A little too strong for Letlaku. Siwelele looking to break out whenever they can. Leon's played this across, but it struck Mokoane. Does look a wonderful playing surface. There was a very bad fungus here at the Lucas Moripe Stadium earlier on in the season. They've done a lot of hard work on this pitch. It's the first game for Sundowns since they drew with Marumo Gallants and then were knocked out on penalties in the Carling knockout back in October. Marumo Gallants, by the way, have played here twice in March. But Sundowns have had all of their home games at Loftus Versfeld since early October.
And if the pitch stays like this, you wonder why Sundowns don't just make this their home ground. And if this surface can remain like this, it really suits them, because you do have that occasional Loftus Versfeld rugby games which can disturb the quality.
You say that. They are playing the Champions League final next Sunday, May the 17th, the day after the Blue Bulls play on the same pitch, which is going to be very interesting. And if there's bad weather, of course, those rugby skies really do make divots all over the place.
Last time I was at Loftus, I had a chat with the groundsman there, Johan and Abungile. That pitch at Loftus is 50% hybrid and 50% natural grass. And they did mention the final and said they're going to have to work all evening to make sure that it is in good condition for that final.
Now, Potsane. Picked up at the back by the youngster Ndebele, 21-year-old, is centre-back alongside Nico Morbi, who usually plays at right-back, but has been in that centre-back position for a while now. Potsane driving his way through. What a superb tackle again from Kuliso Mudau. Outstanding season again for him, even if he missed the first couple of games of the campaign when he was trying to force a transfer away from Mamelodi Sundowns. He's come back and just reaffirmed what a quality act he is. That was an excellent challenge to deny Potsane. There'll be a patient approach tonight from Mamelodi Sundowns. They know they've got the big guns to force an opening. Here's Mokoena, he's going to go long range. Brings out the best in Ricardo Goss, who's also hoping to be in the World Cup squad, of course.
You just mentioned big guns, and that is one of them. Found space there. Siwelele is going to have to do better. You cannot give Tebogo Mokoena that amount of space on the edge of the box. That was going in the back of the net. Brilliant save there from Goss.
It'll be Sundowns' first corner of the game. Allende, the de facto set-piece taker, gets a bit of height on that one to the back post. Kakana's there. Clearance away from Morbi. What a strike from Mokoena! On the full volley, just turned the foot around, and in the 7th minute, he has made the breakthrough. And that will settle the nerves here at Atteridgeville.
He expected it to end up in the back of the net. When that man finds it at the edge of the box. A brilliant strike, he was patient with it. Play to the back post, a clearance, not enough, and that is not an easy technique. What a strike there, firmly eyes fixed on that ball, no chance for Goss.
Also coming through a crowd of players made it even more difficult for the goalkeeper, but struck superbly. He scored against Gallants in March. He got a double, a goal against Golden Arrows as well. His 4th league goal of the season. Tebogo Mokoena, arguably one of the more important that he has scored for his side. Of course, a couple of vital goals in this Champions League campaign this season as well. So the live log will have Sundowns 6 clear at the top, but having played 2 more. Pirates still with a better goal difference. It's now a 6-goal swing. And remember, sometimes they say, Stanton, points in the pocket much more valuable than catch-up matches.
Indeed, and as you were going through the log table, Magesi, which is playing against Orlando Pirates, if they were to get 3 points, that'll see them go up to 14th position.
And away from the relegation places, so they'll be motivated tonight, is what you're saying.
That's what's up.
That game at 8 o'clock, following this one. You will not want to leave your sofa this evening. Superb action here in the Betway Premiership. Last night, of course, a draw between Durban City and Stellenbosch, who also still have top 8 hopes. Now teasing down that right-hand side. Here's Santos with a cross and a header, and another goal! It's Tashrik Matthews. A double blow from Mamelodi Sundowns early on, and you wonder now whether they're not thinking about goal difference.
That's what a brilliant goal there from Sundowns. What a team goal, a bit of individual brilliance down the flank. And it's Matthews tucked inside off the left with the headed goal.
Well, he can perhaps afford a smile, the coach. His team has got off to an absolutely brilliant start.
Done extremely well to keep the ball in play. A drop of the shoulder, just laying it in the path of Santos here. And a delightful cross there. Matthews just got ahead of him, Folosi at the far post, and it's game on, looking for goal difference is Sundowns.
Not one you would associate with a headed goal from that close in, Tashrik Matthews. another valuable contribution. He's had a good season in front of goal, Matthews. That's number 7 of this campaign. Well, 10 minutes gone. Sundowns 2 to the good.
Yeah, you always just felt that Matthews needed to add a few goals to his contribution, and it's starting to show now.
Another teasing run down that right-hand side. Another cross. This time, Letlaku unable to provide the accuracy of the previous one.
Discussion there between Rapo and Ndebele.
Rapo, of course, under 20 international, still a developing talent. He's been on the scene for a while though. Made his debut at the age of 17 and 5 months. Only turned 21 this coming August. This is his 4th season in the top flight, 3 with SuperSport United. Didn't play a lot, but certainly got plenty of exposure to the rigours of the top flight.
Given his opportunity by Gavin Hunt.
A lot of these players, of course, from SuperSport United debuting as teenagers under Gavin Hunt. It's interesting that Leklanolo Siem has done much the same over the last couple of games with the likes of Jazza, who's playing up front. There was young Mazibuko as man of the match in the draw against Golden Arrows a couple of games back. He gave a debut to Macau, young under-20 international in the midfield a couple of games back. So he's also looking to develop some of the younger talent at the club. Good turn here from Markaman. Mungu slipped, although he's claiming some interference. He'll be key today, Grant Markaman, in the middle of the park with his ability to get the ball forward quickly for the runners.
Yeah, and he's alongside Mokoena in the midfield, and surprisingly enough, Tebogo Mokoena found so much space where Markaman should have been covering to get the corner, and thereafter on the tip of the box. You'd expect them to be managing the danger in midfield there. Sure, something that CMA will have a chat about at half-time.
Into the lineup tonight because Kiana Cupido suffered a shoulder injury against Kaizer Chiefs on Wednesday. One that the prognosis on how serious it is yet to come. Tulsales is on the bench today, but there was talk that his season is over. Also a shoulder injury picked up away against Richard Bay a couple of games ago. A bit of a surprise to see his name on the bench. Modiba finds Matthews now. Up against Moralo. Finds Santos. Time to turn. Here's the cross. Letlaku. That's number 3. Woo. No. Flags up for offside. That's not going to count. Mr. Janshit Lamini is the linesman on the far side. Did he get this right?
Yeah, nice build-up play here from Matthews, combining with Santos. He got it wrong.
He got it horribly wrong.
He got it. For Lozi playing him on side, that should have stood. Bad call.
Well, it denies Brian Leon yet another goal. He's made a big impact since arriving in the January transfer window. So we've seen 1 or 2 decisions lately from linesmen who perhaps a little too eager to raise their flag. If there's any hesitation or any doubt, they must give the benefit to the attacking side. And oftentimes that's not the case. Sundowns should be 3 ahead inside the opening quarter hour. I'm sure that on the bench they would have seen that by now as well. Everyone has an iPad these days with the live coverage, so grumpy, I'm sure.
I don't think Cardos has seen it, because there would have been a different reaction on the line.
Now Modiba. Archeman got a little knock on Mokwena's jaw there. Here comes a bit of pace down this right-hand side with Jeza. Cut out by Santos, who almost gifted it back to Jeza. He clears away well. You know, injury, Santos did have an appearance in the last encounter. Ricardo Goss not finding his man. Long ball forward, 15 minutes gone. Plenty of action already in these early stages. Bashera and Siema, are they trying to find some cement to fill the holes? Modiba looking for Leon behind the defender, and Morby's clearance only as far as Tashik Matthews. Swing it out to the right. Santos, Mudau and Allende. As things stand now, Sundowns up to 68 points. They've won the league before. The lowest tally in the 8 successive seasons that they've been champions, 59. You'll remember that COVID season and the season before that. 59 points was enough to win the league. Already Sundowns with 65 before today, Pirates on 62. And of course the most points to win the league the last 2 seasons, Sundowns got 73 points. If they win tonight and they win on Tuesday away at Bombela against Galaxy in their last league game of the season, they will finish on a maximum of 71, which if you finish second on 71 is quite something. Pirates' maximum that they can haul in is also 71, but as we pointed out already, a superior goal difference, which is now down to 5 over Sundowns. They've got that game against Magesi to come. They'll be looking for a bit of a goal spree there as well.
I think first the 3 points and then the goals for Pirates. It should have been cut down to 4. That was a clear goal from Sundowns. It should have.
Can you imagine if the title comes down to a single goal? Wow. That's going to be a big debating point. Mokwena got a bit of a knock there on the side of the head. You can see a bit of a shiner. Holding off Mokoane. Now Mokwena just bursting through. Pass looking for Leon. Good interception from Morby. This is Jeza. It's only his 4th start for Siwelele. Very exciting youngster on the right-hand side. Early ball out from Santos. The Klaku is off.
Yeah, I think at a quick glance, I think he was right this time. Clarko wanted the ball a little bit earlier there. See, spun. Santos couldn't have played it earlier, but it's not very decisive from that angle.
There is a chance he might have been on. The Klaku, as we mentioned earlier, first start since January when they beat Orbit College at home by 2-0. So he'll not be as sharp as the rest in terms of game time, but it's a good opportunity for him tonight.
Well, he started off brightly. Top of the shoulder there, laying it into the path of Santos for the cross for that first goal.
Little push there from Mokwena. Giving away the free kick. It was on Moralo. Just gives him a little shove there. So the sun is set here over Atteridgeville and Tshwane. It's actually a lovely night. All of the predictions of supremely cold weather have not come true, although apparently it is on its way tomorrow in the Cape, and it'll move up north. Mistake there. Now that will be just outside the box, but it was Letlako and Santos with a little misunderstanding, and Potsane, the player, brought down.
Yeah, misunderstanding here, top of the shoulder there. Nothing much Mokoena could do. Nice drop from Botsane, just outside in a very dangerous area.
Definitely outside the box. Now Mokoena, by the way, comes into this game with 3 yellow cards. Ordinarily, should be picking up a 4th there, which would rule him out of the Galaxy game on Tuesday. So just to remind you, Sundowns' penultimate game in the league tonight. Then Galaxy away at Bombela on Tuesday, and then next Sunday, the first leg of the Champions League final at Loftus against Royal Armed Forces of Morocco. And then they'll go away to Rabat for the second leg on May the 24th. Also a Sunday, late Sunday night South African time. We're going to have to stay up to see if South Africa can produce an African champion for the first time since 2016. This is the Rapu. And in the what would you call it? The gopher position.
Yeah, the one that nobody wants. A little bit closer to get it up and over.
Rapu has not got a league goal yet in his career, 4th season as we mentioned earlier. Is this going to be the opportunity? Curls it well wide. Got the deflection, and it'll be a corner. Rapu will go across and take the corner as well, with the left foot look to swing it in. Someone's forming a neat line there, as if they were lining up a supper for a hotel buffet. It's not easily cleared away. Folosi at the back to goalkeeper Goss. And now a bit of space on the right-hand side. Rapu looks across, left-footed cross. Jeza finds no way through. Lungu, he's the nominated striker, Lungu. Onside, Rapu pulls it back. Sundowns will clear. A couple of nervy moments there for the Sundowns fans. Mokoena getting instructions from his coach.
Just a nod of acknowledgement. I think that conversation would be to make sure he covers for Modiba. As in quick succession, they caught him on this left-hand flank. And that is normally the job of Mokoena as well as Allende, to cover for the fullbacks when they've further up the pitch.
Well, it's been a criticism of Modiba that his defensive work perhaps not as good as his play going forward, and something he has to work on. And one of the reasons that he's missed a couple of key matches in the past, both for Sundowns and the national side. Certainly playing nice and high tonight. Here he is with a pass from Santos. Good ball for Leon. Is this number 3? Yes, it is. Now, would that have been an own goal, or would you give it to Brian Leon? It might have crossed the line before Nico Momi got there.
I think for Sundowns right now, it doesn't matter. They'll get their 3rd, and they're looking for more.
Well, there is a bit of a shellacking now in these early stages here, and fairly simply done by Aubrey Modiba down this left-hand side. Had a look up. There's the delivery. Great run from the striker.
Yeah, I think that's going to go down as an own goal there. Lovely touch to set himself up. Try to go across the body. Brilliant save from Goss. And an attempted clearance from Mobi ends up at the back of his own net. Nothing much he could have done.
In fact, the touch before Mobi was actually off Ndebele as well, on number 33. So Brian Leon 2 behind in terms of getting the strike on. As you say, Morby own goal. Now, Tashrik Matthews trying to get in on the act again. 25 minutes gone, and Mamelodi Sundowns looking imperious. If they are outgoing champions, they're certainly leading in style here. Mokoena. Not predicting anything wild here, Stanton, but a 5 or a 6 goal victory tonight would certainly add a little bit of pressure to Orlando Pirates' task later on tonight against Magesi.
And makes this run-in so much more interesting. Came out here, and within 30 minutes, with 3 up to the good. Here's Sundowns. The message is clear from the coach. Go out there and score.
If you got a 4th goal, would you then maybe throw on Arenas, Sales, Tembazwane? Just, I mean, you're not going to lose from 4-0 up, so yeah. Would you just throw all the attacking guns forward and see if you can't romp this and make it a big scoreline?
I think you'll definitely sacrifice one of the midfielders, Yende or Mokoena, and then add an attacker that'll possibly join Leon.
Might be just talking a little too early. You never know. Siwelele is not a side to be taken lightly, and they're not going to roll over here. It is a little embarrassing, I think, from their perspective that they've fallen behind so substantively in these early stages. Orlando Pirates have had the biggest win so far this season. That's 6-0 away against Galaxy in the league, which happened at the end of March. Season before, you remember beating Marumo Gallants with 7. Well, they know how to produce a one-sided scoreline.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of Siwelele, and you're mentioning the comeback. They can't continue with the strategy they came in and started the game with, sitting back and catching them on the counter. They're going to have to do something a bit more braver, a bit more attack-minded, if they are to get back in this encounter.
Clearance from Dubele, little flick on. This is Jeza, offside. Already warming up potential replacements are Siwelele.
Immediately you just look at that starting lineup, and 3 defensive-minded players in the midfield in Mokoena, Mahaman as well as Moralo. So one would assume that'll be the first change.
Moralo, Mokoane over the top, looking for the running here. Plenty of pace from Folosi. Now, is there someone to wait for the square pass? Here it's driven back and it's hit straight at Modiba, who clears it with some style. Biggest win for Sundowns this season was away in Nigeria, 5-1 against Remo Stars. You might remember the prelim round of the Champions League. 4-1 over Richards Bay at home earlier on in the campaign, their biggest league win. And another 4-1 against Chipper United beginning of last month. What they really need now is that famous 24-0 that they pulled off in the Nedbank Cup.
Against, what was it, Power Lines?
Power Lines of Kimberley. Yeah. Who certainly had an outage that day. Lots of load shedding. Now a bit of pressure, and Damani is caught. Jeza, square ball, they right back in it. Defensive error, and Siwelele have pulled one back with Kampani Lungu scoring for a second successive game. Damani is responsible.
You said it, Mark. Can't count them out. Just a lapse of concentration here from Ndamani. A little bit casual there. Credit to Jeza. Applied the pressure. Lovely weighted pass into the path of Lungu.
Jeza playing only his 4th match. Looks a player to the manner born. He's full of running and exciting attacking options. Stole that away from Ndamani. Well, given there were 3 draws earlier on today and all fairly tightly contested, and last night's game goalless as well at Chatsworth, this is a real pleasure to watch. 4 goals inside the opening 30 minutes. So Salles and Reyners warming up. No reason why they can't go in search of more goals, Mamelodi Sundowns. Now they might be a little more circumspect. Laku playing it back. Santos with a cross. Finds Modiba. I'm not sure he wanted to find Modiba. Put that a little too strongly. Mokoena gets a touch. Mokoane to Lungu. Jeza, he'll lose out, but he'll be fouled in the process by Ndamani. Well, you remember Ndamani was the player who gave away that late penalty against Stellenbosch when they were at home and dropped points in that particular match. And you referenced that already, Stanton, the draw with Stellenbosch, the draw in Richards Bay, and the draw with Kaizer Chiefs in their last couple of league games. In fact, 3 draws in their last 5 league matches. The 2 wins, of course, home and away against Polokwane City will ultimately, or could ultimately, be the deciding factor.
Yeah, I think that was the big one, conceding that late in the second half. Not enough time for them to forge a comeback. I think when they look back on this league encounter, that would have stood out as a red flag.
And a tougher game at Richards Bay on a pitch that was criticized by Coach Cardoso for being a little too slow. Didn't suit their game. Certainly suited the home side, who did well to share the spoils. Madao looking to surge forward. That's nicely done by Rapu. And Jeza knowing he's offside. Intelligent youngster. Still plenty of time ahead here in this first half. Diva to Mokoena. Makaman on his tail. Makaman, of course, played at Mamelodi Sundowns a single season in the 2020-21 campaign. Only 1 start for Sundowns. Loaned out and then eventually sold. There's 1 game tomorrow, by the way, Sekhukhune against Kaizer Chiefs. And then the World Champions. Matthews with the early ball. Goss almost spilling it. Makaman. Well, they came with this reinforced midfield with the 3 men across the Makaman, Mokoane, and oh, what a fine ball that is. Good stop from Ronwen Williams.
Siwelele testing that high line of Sundowns.
Sundowns tonight playing their 47th game of the season in all competitions. It's a pretty lengthy campaign. They've had longer, to be fair. Only 4 losses. Haven't lost a league game, or have lost a single league game this season against Golden Arrows. Their last loss in any match, Stade Malien, in March, away from home in the Champions League. Coming into this game, 9 games unbeaten. Siwelele, in contrast, were knocked out in the first round of the Carly Knockout and the Nedbank Cup, so 2 cup games plus 27 league games. This is only their 50th match of the season.
taking into account the transition in ownership and players. I think Siema's managed to steady the ship a bit. The opportunity to end in the top 8 would be a very successful season for them.
Here's Modiba. Cross. Clearance. Letlaku will chase and will keep it in play. Early ball for Santos. Now needs to drag this back. Looking for Matthews! Hits the upright. He hardly got any pace on that effort, Matthews, with the outside of the foot. An inch or so, and he would have had his second of the night. Letlaku, the provider. Still alive with Mokoena, with Allende. No foul, says Mr. Gaza. Went down a little too easily. Mokoane up front to Lungu. Jazza just holding, make sure he stays on side. Lungu's given that away. Now, Letlaku. Where's he going? Nice support from Santos. Back again. Nicely weighted from Santos. Square ball here, number 4. All too easy, Mamelodi Sundowns. Leon, unselfish, gives Tashrik Matthews his second of the night.
And the vision of Nuno Santos to open up that defence as he gets his second of the evening there, Matthews.
5 goals, and we are still 10 minutes away from half-time. Bring it on.
It was Letlaku that kept the move alive, combined with Santos. Santos taking his time. A brilliant movement there from Leon. And a lovely pass for Matthews to finish up. And it's not easy to weight it correctly because this pitch is a little bit damp. So it was a spot-on pass there from Brian Leon to find his teammate Matthews.
Perfectly done by Sundowns, but assisted by the fact that Siwelele's defence had gone walkabout. 4-1 the scoreline inside the first half. Possession finds Folosi. Folosi continuing his run. Damane giving it away, but now returned to Ronald Williams, who's just telling him to calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
Good captaincy from Ronald Williams.
Great leadership there. Another learning curve for a talented defender.
He's a youngster, turned 22 in February in Damane, so he's still learning. Comes from the Ladysmith area, played at amateur level for a team called FC Drakensberg, who must have reached some heights. Now chases on, Goss clears.
I was saying that Williams won't be happy with the 1 conceded. That means Sundowns now conceded 15 in the league. Pirates still on the lowest there with 12.
Sipo Chain could break his record tonight, by the way. Here's Modiba. If Sipo Chain keeps a clean sheet tonight for Pirates, it'll be the 19th of the season for him, which will break the record that Williams set of 18 just a couple of weeks ago. Chain equalised that against Stellenbosch, or equalled that against Stellenbosch in the last match for Pirates earlier on this week. Now Letlaku with the left foot, doesn't get enough elevation on that. Lungu will clear. Kotsano, the only man left up front. His height is not contributing in a defensive situation.
Rather use his speed.
Now is Santos onside, chasing here. Early ball comes across. Goss will collect and clear quickly, looking for Lungu, who is fouled. Well, the return from injury of Santos, just adding a little more quality in that middle of the park. In for Jaden Adams, who hasn't played too badly himself in the second half of the season. We didn't see much of Adams in the first half of the campaign.
Yeah, his quality really coming to the fore, that is Jaden Adams. We've witnessed it on international level as well as for Sundowns.
Problem for Adams now, though, is sits out 2 games. Yeah. Does that mean he loses his place for the final of the Champions League, the first leg, which will be Sunday next? In other words, tomorrow, a week from now. Maybe the ideal rest period.
Yeah, you just get a feeling that you can't play Mokoena, Allende as well as Adams.
Lovely ball from Leon to Matthews, who's got pace, but so has Morby. Matthews looking to get it squared to Santos. We are 5 minutes from half-time. Can they make it 5 before the break? Pushing forward. There is a chance at number 5. Whew. Stuck away by Leon. Well, they are cutting into that goal difference with Orlando Pirates. This championship chase is suddenly coming alive again here at Atchesville.
Well, Mark, I'll tell you what, it's all smiles from Zwane. 2 thumbs up. Brilliant football here from Sundowns. And they are making it interesting. Oh boy, brilliant run there from Letako. A 1-2 with Santos, once again integral with a deft touch. A lovely header, and Leon on hand to slot it home. Excellent performance here from Letako this afternoon on that right-hand flank, giving Leo Rato something to think about.
6 goals tonight. 3 minutes from half-time. Siwelele being overrun by a rampant Mamelodi Sundowns. On paper, as Stanton has said, Orlando Pirates have this championship in their own hands, but if Sundowns are to go down, they are going down in some style.
And that was before I knew they'd score 5 today.
Yes. So the goal difference now for Mamelodi Sundowns, a 4-goal difference before half-time, means they are plus 38. Pirates plus 41. 3 is the difference now. Can they get 3 more goals here tonight? Maybe even more? Then it's going to come down to who can bang them in. Pirates have got Durban City after the Magesa game. That's next Saturday at home, and then the Saturday thereafter, the 23rd, which is the final day of the league season, they are away against Orbit College at the Royal Bafokeng Sports Palace. Marfaman. Siwelele have got a decent support away behind the goal of Ronald Williams, and they're usually amongst the best supporters in the league, singing constantly. I think they all look pretty shell-shocked at the moment.
The volume has been turned down.
There might be a chance here, though, for Lungu, looking to find Potsani, initially cut out by Mudau, and here they go again with Matthews on the left. Mudau wants the return ball. It's not the best of passes from Tashrik Matthews, but he'll keep it alive, Mudau. Needs some support. It comes from Letlaku. Allende. Santos. Mokoena. Will he drive one? Didn't find Leon there. What an interesting team talk is going to be at half-time. I'm sure the coach has got to say to them, guys, we need more. We could suddenly wipe out this massive difference in goals if we had before the start of the game against Orlando Pirates. But obviously Sundowns are going to be careful because these counters will produce opportunities, and that should have been a goal for Lozi. Should have stuck that in the back of the net. Poor effort from the right back.
Yeah, once again exploiting the space in behind the defence. A delightful ball there to the near post. And goal gaping for Lozi. Could not get that on target. I think it got a touch on Damani.
Inadvertently, in a way, comes to the rescue. Now at the other end, Leon on a hat-trick. Inside to Matthews, is also on a hat-trick. Doesn't find him. Goal kick it's going to be. Well, just 2 minutes added on. Stoppage time at the end of the first half. We've had 30 seconds thereof. Another 90 seconds or so to go. Everyone can have a breath. Mokoena, Santos, Allende, Letlaku, inside here, Allende plays the dummy, but Siwelele clear with Potsane. Good cover, good strong cover from Kekana. Space for Lozi. Moralo, Mokoane. Foul by Mokoena. We've got things going, of course. That's half-time. Whistle on cue from Mr. Gaza. 6-goal first half, Stanton Fredericks. You weren't expecting that.
You couldn't ask for more. Cutting into that goal difference deficit of Pirates. It's Matthews with a brace. It's Mokoena with the opener. And then Leon got the fifth one as well. It's a rampant display here this evening from Mamelodi Sundowns. Letlaku was excellent on the right. A slip up in defence, seen them concede, but they responded right back as they searched for more.
Well, big smiles from Themba Zwane as he greets the players leaving the pitch. A frown on the face of Ricardo Goss. No surprise that he's been beaten 5 times in the first half here at Attridgeville. Confirmation of the scoreline, we'll say it twice because it's rather unusual. Sundowns 5, Siwelele 1. 6 goals in this first half. Sundowns 5, Siwelele 1. de facto set-piece taker, gets a bit of height on that one to the back post. Kakana's there. Clearance away from Morbe. What a strike from Mokoena. On the full volley. Just turned the foot around, and in the 7th minute, he has made the breakthrough.
With it. Play to the back post. A clearance, not enough. And that is not an easy technique. What a strike there. Firmly eyes fixed on that ball. No chance for Goss.
Also coming through a crowd of players made it even more difficult for the goalkeeper. But there, the de facto set-piece taker gets a bit of height on that one to the back post. Kakana's there. Clearance away from Morbe. What a strike from Mokoena. On the full. There, the de facto set-piece taker gets a bit of height on that one to the back post. Kakana's there. Clearance away from Morbe. What a strike from Mokoena. On the full volley. Just turned the foot around, and in the 7th minute, he has made the breakthrough. And that will settle the nerves. There, the de facto set-piece taker gets a bit of height on that one to the back post. Kakana's there. Clearance away from Morbe. What a strike from Mokoena. On the full volley. There, the de facto set-piece taker gets a bit of height on that one to the back post. Kakana's there. Clearance away from Morbe. What a strike from Mokoena. On the full volley. Just turned the foot around, and the de facto set-piece taker gets a bit of height on that one to the back post. Kakana's there. Clearance away from Morbe. What a strike from Mokoena. The de facto set-piece taker gets a bit of height on that one to the back post. Kakana's there. Clearance away from Morbe. What a strike from Mokoena. On the full volley. Just turned the foot around, and in the 7th minute, he has made the breakthrough. And that will set. The de facto set-piece taker gets a bit of height on that one to the back post. Kakana's there. Clearance away from Morbe. What a strike from Mokoena. On the full volley. Just turned the foot around, and in the 7th minute, he has made the breakthrough. And that will settle the nerves here at Atteridgeville. The de facto set-piece taker gets a bit of height on that one to the back post. Kakana's there. Clearance away from Morbe. What a strike from Mokoena. Clearance away from Morbe. What a strike from Mokoena. On the full volley. Just turned the foot around. Evening. Superb action here in the Betway Premiership. Last night, of course, a draw between Durban City and Stellenbosch, who also still have top 8 hopes. Now teasing down that right-hand side. There's Santos with a cross and a header, and another goal. It's Tushnet Matthews. A double blow. For to smile, the coach. His team has got off to an absolutely brilliant start.
Done extremely well to keep the ball in play. A drop of the shoulder, just laying it in the path of Santos here. And a delightful cross there. Matthews just got ahead of him, Folosi at the far post, and it's game on.
Evening. Superb action here in the Betway Premiership. Last night, of course, a draw between Durban City and Stellenbosch, who also still have top 8 hopes. Now teasing down that right-hand side. There's Santos with a cross and a header, and another goal. It's Tushnet Matthews. Evening. Superb action here in the Betway Premiership. Last night, of course, a draw between Durban City and Stellenbosch, who also still have top 8 hopes. Now teasing down that right-hand side. There's Santos with a cross and a header, and another goal. It's Tushnet Matthews. A double blow from Mamelodi Sundowns early on. Evening. Superb action here in the Betway Premiership. Last night, of course, a draw between Durban City and Stellenbosch, who also still have top 8 hopes. Now teasing down that right-hand side. Here's Santos with a cross and a header and another goal. It's touched with Matthews. Great hopes. Now teasing down that right-hand side. Here's Santos with a cross and a header and another goal. It's touched with Matthews. Great hopes. Now teasing down that right-hand side. Here's Santos with a cross and a header and another goal. It's touched with Matthews. A double blow from Mamelodi Sundowns early on. And you wonder now. For key matches in the past, both for Sundowns and the national side. Certainly playing nice and high tonight. Here he is with a pass from Santos. Good ball for Leon. Is this number 3? Yes, it is. Now, would that have been an own goal, or would you give it to Brian Leon? It might have crossed the line before Nico Momi got there.
I think for Sundowns right now, it doesn't matter. They get their third.
Stages here, and fairly simply done by Aubrey Modiba down this left-hand side. Had a look up. There's the delivery. Great run from the striker.
Yeah, I think that's going to go down as an own goal there. Lovely touch to set himself up. Try to go across the body. Brilliant save from Goss. And an attempted clearance from Mobi ends up at the back of his own net. Nothing much he could have done.
In fact, the touch before Mobi was actually off in Ndebele. For key matches in the past, both for Sundowns and the national side. Certainly playing nice and high tonight. Here he is with a pass from Santos. Good ball for Leon. Is this number 3? Yes, it is. Now, would that have been an own goal? For key matches in the past, both for Sundowns and the national side. Certainly playing nice and high tonight. Here he is with a pass from Santos. Good ball for Leon. Is this number 3? Yes, it is. Now, would that have been an own goal, or would you give it to Brian Leon? It might have crossed the line before Nico Momi got there. For key matches in the past, both for Sundowns and the national side. Certainly playing nice and high tonight. Here he is with a pass from Santos. Good ball for Leon. Is this number 3? Yes, it is. Now, certainly playing nice and high tonight. Here he is with a pass from Santos. Good ball for Leon. Is this number 3? Yes, it is. Now, would that have been an own goal, or would you give it to Brian Leon? It might have crossed the line before Nico Momi got there. Certainly playing nice and high tonight. Here he is with a pass from Santos. Good ball for Leon. Is this number 3? Yes, it is. Now, would that have been an... Certainly playing nice and high tonight. Here he is with a pass from Santos. Good ball for Leon. Is this number 3? Yes, it is. Now, would that have been a pass from Santos? Good ball for Leon. Is this number 3? Yes, it is. The pass from Santos. Good ball for Leon. Is this number 3? Yes, it is. Day. Lots of load shedding. Now a bit of pressure, and Damani is caught. Jeza, square ball, they right back in it. Defensive error, and Siwelele have pulled one back with Kampani Lungu scoring for a second success.
Can't count them out. Just a lapse of concentration here from Damani. A little bit casual there. Credit to Jeza. Applied the pressure. Lovely weighted pass into the path of Lungu.
Jeza playing only his 4th match. Looks a player to the manner born. He's day. Lots of load shedding. Now a bit of pressure, and Damani is caught. Jeza, square ball, they right back in it. Defensive error. Day. Lots of load shedding. Now a bit of pressure, and Damani is caught. Jeza, square ball, they right back in it. Had an outage that day. Lots of load shedding. Now a bit of pressure, and Damani is caught. Jeza, square ball, they right back in it. Defensive error, and Siwelele have pulled one back with... Welcome back, everyone. Mamelodi Sundowns 5, Siwelele 1 at half-time in this Betway Premiership encounter here at Atteridgeville. Sundowns looking to keep their championship hopes alive with a goal deluge at home to the team from Bloemfontein. It's only 3 years ago now, almost to the day, that we saw 6 goals scored in the first half of a Betway Premiership match. That was Stellenbosch at home to Golden Arrows at the Dani Craven Stadium. 4-2 at half-time to Stellenbosch. They eventually won by 5 goals to 2. Now, the big ask is, can Sundowns continue this goal-scoring form and come away with a big result here tonight, which would help them in their goal difference battle against Orlando Pirates. They are 3 behind them now. Second half underway. Siwelele in the green, defending the goal to the right. No changes, by the way, at half-time. But we do expect a couple more attacking players perhaps to be thrown on. Is there a little response here immediately from Siwelele? Williams has a look as that ball goes wide of him. Chance for the youngster Jeza again.
Yeah, some ferocious pace there from Jeza. Got it in the space there. Brilliant first touch to set it up. And couldn't trouble the keeper.
Scored his first goal against Kaiser Chiefs in that 2-0 win for Siwelele. Game before last for them. They drew with Durban City in midweek. Contribution tonight again from Mudali. Made an early tackle in this game, which I think perhaps maybe set the tone. Siwelele were looking dangerous early on. Now, what does the coach say, Stanton, when you're 5-1 down to half-time at the mid-game break talk?
Well, he's got to stay positive. He's got to change it up a bit. I did say that the formation's going to have to change. Maybe ask Machaman to be a bit more forward and support Kompani Lunga. 2 seasons ago, Pirates scored 7 goals in the second half against Marumo Gallants. Won that game by 8-1. Mabasa, you might remember, got a hat-trick on that occasion. There's Matthews, Leon, Mokoena out wide to the Tlaku, inside to Leon, back heel, let Tlaku with a chance. It might fall for Santos, blocked. Is he going to get a second chance? He lays it for Modiba. Back again, what a save from Goss. Tight angle. Comes up big, the goalkeeper. continued where they left off. Hungry for more.
So here comes the corner kick. Markoman chasing the clearance. So is Damani, and it might fall here for Potsane. Ball still in play. Little slip from Williams too. Didn't get a clear touch to that, but Allende is back helping. Lungu takes it away from him though. Jeza has possession. Markoman. Mokowani with a pass from Moralo. A little bit of the momentum lost there. Now Mokowani out wide. Going to be the first corner of the second half. Will go Siwelele's way off the back of Patrick Matthews.
Yeah, that attack was a little bit too slow. Lost the momentum. Allowed Sundowns to get jerseys behind the ball.
Well, we've certainly got our money's worth tonight, and these are just the early exchanges in the second half. Rapu again with the left foot to try and swing it in on top of goalkeeper Williams. Clearing header from Grant Kekana. Moralo, good first touch. Potsane gets it across. It's his own man though. And then it's going to be goal kick. Komobi pushing forward. A bit of a defender's touch there in the penalty area. Now against Leklaku on the Bele. Markoman in space. Stolen away. He has a chance for Lungu. Can he get his second of the game? The answer is yes. Siwelele reduced the deficit. Lungu has now got 3 goals in his last 2 matches. There are always going to be possibilities on the counter for Siwelele, and they've proven that here again.
That was untidy from Sundowns. Brilliant play there. There's again Jeza. Proved to be a nuisance there. One back possession and well slotted there from Lungu. First touch just set it up. Just lifted his head, seen the on-rushing goalkeeper and slotted it in behind.
5-2 now the scoreline. Siwelele doing Pirates a favour. Here comes the response from Mamelodi Sundowns with Leklaku. Back into the middle. Header from Matthews. Save on the line. Santos keeps it alive. Goal! Brian Leon gets his second. 6-2. Well, they said it's going to be storming all over the country this weekend. It's raining goals here tonight.
It's certainly raining in Outreachville. An immediate response from Mamelodi Sundowns. Lukaku kept it alive. It was a powerful header from Matthews. And Santos with a ding to the far post. Leon with his second.
That's a lovely cross from the Portuguese. And Leon just a little more aggressive. Might have actually come off the arm of Leon, that final touch. 6-2 the scoreline. This is the game with the most goals this season already. There could be more. There should be more. Modiba. Plenty of time still left. We're only 6 minutes here into the second half. There's been a goal apiece since half-time. There's Mudau. Is he going to have a crack? Trying to lay it in there to Leon. Allende. Modiba. Now Mokoena. Allende. Mudau. Last home game of the season for Sundowns, and they're turning it on for their fans there. Letlaku, can he get it square? Good defensive work from Rapu. Eventually runs out of space, so Sundowns have the throw-in. Allende with possession. Clearing header from Morbi. Only as far as Mokoena. I suppose there's also a temptation with this substantial lead to rest players ahead of Tuesday's game against Galaxy, because the Champions League final is only 8 days away as well. Here's Marchaman on the counter. Good defensive work.
Did he hurt himself?
I think he might have.
Yeah.
That is looks like it's Ndamani. Yes, just stretching there. Now you wonder how serious that is for the youngster. Looks to be okay, up on his feet. Running a little short of centre-backs this season. Keegan Johannes would be the obvious replacement. Vala out, Cupido out at the moment. That's a little too strong off the head of Rapu as well. Throw in Mamelodi Sundowns. The Bele, rather. Best of passes from Nuno Santos. Possession turnover. Siwelele will have the ball over on the far side. That's Mokoani's pass cut out. Now, how quickly can they get this forward? Kana looking for some options.
See already Siwelele sitting as deep as they did in the first half.
There's lots of space for Santos here. Over the halfway line he goes, driving forward. Nuno Santos, could he go all on his own? Plays it inside to Matthews. Matthews with a chip. Not sure whether that was intended for Allende or a little effort himself. Ten minutes gone in the second half. Marchaman slips. More moisture on this pitch, of course, as dusk has fallen. Modiba. Space again for Santos. Back again to Modiba. Tight angle. Shot punched away. Letlaku returns the ball and Goss makes the second save.
Santos just pulling the strings. He's been very effective when in possession there.
It's beginning to huff and puff though, Santos. Lack of game time of late, understandable. Ball here for Potsane. He's not going to get easily past Koliso Mudau, who leaves him behind. Finds Mokoena. Good work, Mudau. Now Modiba. Matthews to his left. Ball through the middle for Leon. Up against Nico Morbi. Is he going to take him on 1-for-1? Still Leon. Leon! Save Goss! That's going to go away for a throw-in.
Twisting and turning there. A little bit fortuitous. And just couldn't get it past Goss there. Good save from the goalkeeper.
Looking for his hat-trick, Leon. So Goss needs a bit of treatment, and Siwelele are going to make the first change of the night. Morala goes off in the midfield. That's not unexpected. He's going to give themselves a little more opportunity. This young man, Mazibuko, was man of the match against Richards Bay a couple of games ago. Just 19 years old. Made his debut last month.
just such a clever striker. He's Brian Leon. And this man Santos has been integral in finding the strikers and the front three.
Well, the little break here might just settle things a bit. Goss taking his time, getting some treatment. So close to his first hat-trick in South African football. Well, he probably thinks he's got a hat-trick, although that first effort was an own goal off Nico Morbi.
Do you leave him on and allow him to get his hat-trick, or do you bring on a fresh Ikram Reyners?
Well, you might remember scored 5 goals in a single game against Polokwane City for Stellenbosch a few seasons back. Santos will get this wide to Modiba. Nice little touch. Ball inside here for Allende. That's surely a goal. Now it is. Cracked into the back of the net. And Leon has the hat-trick. 7 of the best from Mamelodi Sundowns. I wonder if that effort from Allende went over the line, but there's no doubt about the finish from Leon.
What a strike. It is smiles all over. Leon on hand to slot it home. Mukwena, Santos, Modiba. A brilliant pass from Modiba. An excellent shot. Did not cross the line. Yeah. It needed Leon at his sharpest, and that's exactly what he done.
Waited patiently. No chance for Goss there at this near post. Wow. 9 goals now. We still wait for the hour mark. There's over a half an hour left in this game.
And Nico Morbi now, he's asked to play at centre-back. Normally a right back.
Here's Modiba. Comes off Siwelele, so it'll be Sundowns throw-in. 1 hour of football elapsed here at Atteridgeville, almost. And Santos in possession. Little ball over the top, looking for Matthews, who wasn't really aware of Santos' thinking. He probably presumed it was going to go wide to Allende. Here's Potsani. Rapu, Potsani, looking for the return pass, gets it. It comes off his foot and straight at Ronwen Williams.
And Mark, this is the Siwelele side that will not give up. They'll continue to look for a goal and continue to fight and spare their blushes.
Here's the log. Sundowns will go 6 clear, but Pirates will have 2 games in hand. Pirates to play Magesi at 8 p.m.
Goal difference reduced.
5 plus tonight for Sundowns. It's with a 7-2 scoreline. They came into the game some way behind Orlando Pirates, plus 34. They are now plus 39. Pirates plus 41. So just 2 goals the difference. It could come down to the number of goals scored this season. Pirates are the best scoring side in the league with 53, but the 7 for Sundowns tonight has seen them go from 48 to 55. So they now are the top scoring team in the league. So wow. If it's equal on goal difference, Stanton, they then take the number of goals you've scored. And if it's still tied, then the head-to-head between the 2 teams. There's Mudau. Still Mudau, there's Letlaku to his right, finds him, he was offside.
Yeah, Mudau took too long to release Letlaku.
Our winner tonight of the 20,000 as the best dressed supporter is Miguel Khan. Might be missing a good game there as he spends his time on the phone.
I think he's doing addition and subtraction with a goal difference.
Throw in Sundowns on the far side. 28 odd minutes remain. Straight through the middle. Leon plays it wide. Can Matthews get a hat-trick? Into Santos. Leon again! Maybe too casual. Artur Sales is standing by to come on. A man who we heard will play no further part this season after injuring his shoulder against Richards Bay. He's made an excellent recovery, therefore. But before he comes on, free kick for Siwelele. Potsane playing it through, but Lungu not alive to the possibility. So Matthews goes off, no hat-trick for him tonight. 2-goal contribution. Artur Sales added to the attacking options. And Ikram Rain is still on the bench.
It looks like Sales will play through the middle. Santos out to the left.
Morbi. Fulozi. Mokowane. Kakana does that so well. All those years of experience, Grant Kakana. He's approaching 400 career starts in his time with SuperSport United, with Amatax, and with Sundowns. Good work through the middle. He has a chance for Siwelele to bring it back, and they do! Another one! Williams beaten at the near post. 10 goals now in this game. Well, Willem Jackson was a defender in his day, and he's got a big smile.
Some nifty footwork here. Initially, Ndamane stopped in danger. Through. A little bit unsighted there from the goalkeeper. A brilliant strike there.
Left-footed effort into the bottom corner. "25 minutes to go." And Siwelele pull one back. There's Sales, gets away from him. Mokowane. Marchaman. Well, it's not often Mamelodi Sundowns concede 3 goals in a single game. You probably have to do some heavy homework to find out when that last happened. Now offside over on that far side against Fulozi.
Marchaman with the first time goal out wide, and good movement there from that Sundowns defence, sticking with the high line.
Mokowane, by the way, scored a goal last season against SuperSport United, basically the bulk of the team that he then joined at the beginning of this campaign, although Siwelele, the new franchise. Now, Leon looking for number 4. Taken away by Mokoena. A little hopeful from that range. As you can see, he's thinking almost from the moment the ball fell for him.
Yeah, who blames him? He can really hit them.
The rain is on for Leon. He's done his job. Kulise will come in as well. And Lucky Tsabaleng to join 3 attacking players. Santos is off, no surprise there. He's not yet game fit, and Mokoena, I suppose, getting a little bit of a rest ahead of what will be a vital fortnight for him. He's going to play such a big part in the Sundowns' quest to become African champions. Now, oftentimes standing with substantive changes like we've just seen. They've made 4 changes now in total, Mamelodi Sundowns, in a short period of time. It can take a little of the momentum away.
Yeah, I think it definitely will. It takes time for the subs to get up to speed with the game. Let's see how that's going to affect Sundowns rather. And already we've seen Arthur Saleh is just not on pace of the ball. 2 touches and 2 misplaced passes from him. Here he is, a better one this time.
Markaman through the middle. Mokoane looking for Lungu. Lungu with 2 goals tonight. And foul on Mudau. If Lungu gets a 3rd, that'll be a hat-trick for him as well, and a rare feat to finish on the losing side with a hat-trick. You might remember the famous the late Phil Masinga scored a hat-trick in a cup final for Cosmos against Chiefs. They lost 4-3.
At old FNB Stadium. Yep.
You were still wearing your size 4s in those days.
I was at the stadium watching in size 5s.
Size 5. Damani at the back. Williams. Kalisa Mudau here on the right-hand side. Had his 31st birthday a couple of games ago when they played against Richards Bay. He's close to being man of the match that night as well. Amazingly, no cards tonight in this game. Throwing Siwelele. Still over 20 minutes remaining here at Attridgeville. That's the scorer of the last goal, Relebohile Mokoane. Orlando Pirates man in the house, and we must congratulate the Buccaneers. Their DDC side won the title earlier on today. Beat Sundowns in the decisive game by 2-0 at Dobsonville. They are the DDC champions for this season. So the juniors have done the job. Can the seniors do it still? Siwelele with a chance. Good save. Williams denying Potsani. Another defensive slip there, allowing Siwelele into the game. Now driving forward. Here's Reyners. Laku still involved. Allende. Modiba again. It's a rush of blood to the head from Aubrey Modiba.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it, Mark. You could just see that the understanding and fluidity certainly out of that front 3. And that's where most of the changes were made.
Well, Goss with an error. I think they got lucky there with a handball against Salles. Remember, Sundowns with 1 more game to come on Tuesday away at Bombela Stadium against TS Galaxy. Live coverage, of course, on your World of Champions. Not too sure it's going to be that easy away from home against the Galaxy side, who have made sure that they won't finish last in the league table. He has another chance. Siwelele denied by Williams. Galaxy's draw with Chipper today means they cannot finish last, but they could still finish second last, which would mean going to the playoffs. And they'll be up for the fight, that's for sure. And then the Pirates against Magesi at 8 o'clock. We've had early sight of the lineup with Evidence Mahoba in attack, Mofokeng, Apollos and Maswanganyi as well. They're all capable of a good goal feast. Away goes Siwelele down the right. Chase is on here for Lozi. Another good interception. Damani making up for those earlier errors. Now, 2 more changes for Siwelele in these closing stages. Guatu scored on Tuesday against Durban City. He will come on, a player who's made his debut this season. And Apiwe Baliti, who already played at SuperSport United over the last couple of campaigns.
I think that's like for like. Guatu will operate down the left-hand flank where Potani was.
Mudau, Letlaku, back again. Now, Kekana, Sales gets it wide. Chance here, offside against Reyners.
Yeah, chose the wrong option. Reyners down the middle.
Pass from Tsabaleng.
And Modiba was on his bike there. Reyners was in an offside position.
Sundowns to make 1 more change in these closing stages. Divine Lunga to come on for Modiba down the left, where they've had a lot of good fortune tonight, and just a fresh set of legs there as well. Modiba with a bit of a wild cross with his last attacking effort. Maybe that's the reason why the coach has decided he's perhaps tiring, and the Zimbabwean international Lunga to come on. So that's the 5 changes made now by Mamelodi Sundowns. Tembazwane won't get any game time tonight. This is just the 11th time Lunga's been used in the league. 4 starts and now 7 appearances off the bench for Mamelodi Sundowns. Very much the backup on the left-hand side is Morena on the right, rather.
And whenever Lunga is called into duty, always performs as if he's been playing week in, week out.
Start, of course, in that Champions League semi-final, both games against Esperance, which speaks to his defensive qualities, and he was selected in the starting lineup. Sundowns winning home and away against the Tunisians to book their place in the Champions League final later this month. That will also, of course, all be live on your World of Champions. Still a lot to look forward to this month in club action, and then of course we turn our attention to the national teams in a bumper June-July of World Cup action from North America. You won't miss any games of the World Cup with SuperSport. Oh, is he handing over his car keys there? What's 1 more change for Siwelele. Letsedi joined from Polokwane City in the transfer window, and Mokowane, who has been injured and out of action of late, understandably taken off now and enjoying a little bit of a rest. Letsedi with a red card last month against Marumo Gallants. Moved from Polokwane City in January. He's had 5 outings already for Siwelele. Now the turn. Offside. This is not going to count. Oh, what a miss that would be. The flag of Mr. Janchi spares embarrassment for Guato.
Just not watching the line there.
Reyners turns, got the two defenders, looking to find Leclerc, who went a little early. A little of the momentum, the goal-scoring momentum has gone out of this game with all of these changes. But there is still plenty of time left for one or two more with just over 10 minutes to go. Sales finds Allende. Reyners, he's onside this time. Reyners slips but continues, and then a bit of a mix-up there with Nsabaleng. And they lose possession. Good ball inside. Is that a penalty? Flags up. Yes, it is. Mr. Gaza has no doubt. And it'll be handed to Lungu, I think, so he can get the hat-trick. And was it the other Lunga who gave it away?
Always a threat when they find space in behind. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a clip there. Maybe not intentional, but it certainly was contact.
Folosi, the player, brought down. Well, Gampani Lungu is in discussion here, but he must be the man to take the kick, surely, having scored two already. And I think not being the designated kick taker, he's just checked with his colleagues, are you okay with me taking this kick? And they're all giving him the thumbs up. So the Zambian Lungu looking to make it 2 hat-tricks on the night. It's a season with just a handful of hat-tricks. Remember Mofokeng of Pirates with 3 goals just the other day. First hat-trick of the season went to Puso Dikajani of Galaxy, who's since moved to America. We had a couple in between that. And now, can Lungu score a 4th goal against Ronwen Williams? The last time they conceded 4 was Borussia Dortmund in the Club World Cup at the beginning of the year. Lungu against Williams. Hat-trick. Siwelele with 4. 10 minutes to go. 11 goals in this game.
Now we said it, they will not give up. Added another 2. And what a penalty that was from hat-trick man Lungu. Folosi brought down. Lungu steps up. Doesn't make any mistake with that one.
Yeah, no Cape Verde about that kick. Remember, Williams saving 4 in the Cup of Nations quarterfinals at Ivory Coast. Wow, what a big scoreline tonight. Well, still 3 goals. This, by the way, is now the highest scoring PSL game. And it's not over yet. Little slip at the back. The last highest score in a PSL game, SuperSport 8, Amazulu 1, 9 goals. Chiefs 7, Aces 2, 9 goals. We've got 11 here tonight. Gallants and Pirates 8-1, another 9 goals. Time for more, you reckon, Stanton, or is that our feast completed? The buffet has been closed.
I think we'll ask for one more.
Allende curls it. Clearing header from Debele on the full volley from Lunga. still up in the danger zone. Rain is in there, Salas is in there, and the referee's whistle sounded. Markaman takes the free kick quickly. That's a bad foul by Mudau, who's going to be booked. He's been picking up quite a few yellows of late, Kulisa Mudau. Will miss the final game on Tuesday against Galaxy. So they've got to make a plan on the right-hand side.
Showed a bit of studs there. A bit of a nasty tackle there from Mudau.
First caution of the night as well from Mr. Gasa. Siwelele looking for their fifth. They've got 7 minutes in which to do so. Said to the Siwelele coaching staff, you're going to score 4 against Mamelodi Sundowns tonight, they would have bitten off your hand. Again, they're back to Williams. Here is Sundowns. And the flag up. Markaman over the top. Chase is on here. Lungu tracking back. He's already given away a penalty. And he gets the foul in his favour on that occasion. Disappointment for Lungu. And Siema is not happy.
And this defence of Sundowns was tested to the max this evening. A little bit of a push on Lungu. On Lunga, rather.
Zambia against Zimbabwe there. Now, it'll be a +3 onto their goal difference. One stage it was +5.
Still 5 minutes.
And still a game to come, of course, at Bombela on Tuesday. 7:30 kickoff Tuesday night. I'm sure you'll all be waiting to see what happens there. But more importantly, upcoming now at 8 o'clock, Orlando Pirates against Magesi from Polokwane. Pirates need to win. Keep up their hopes of taking this title away after 8 successive seasons of Sundowns dominating. Sales has possession. Klaku. Time now beginning to run out. What an entertaining feast we have had this evening. Possession still with Siwelele. That's going to be a corner kick. Ndamane had the last touch. He's running out of steam. He's had a tough night tonight. The young centre-back bought from Galaxy in the January transfer window. It's been a night of some history here. It's the first time we've had 2 hat-tricks in a league game. Williams punches. absence of Miguel Cardoso. It'll be very interesting to hear what he has to say about this goal spree. He won't be happy with the 4 conceded, but it was an open game. They were looking for a deluge. It started off so well for Sundowns. 2 goals inside the opening 10 minutes. 5-1 up at half-time. So Siwelele have won the second half, or drawn the second half. Offside again.
I think Saleh's just not looking as sharp as we know him to be since his introduction.
There's the support staff of Mamelodi Sundowns. Big organisation, of course, looking to be crowned African champions. Get that 2nd star on the badge, add to their success in 2016. Saleh. Damani. Now Kakana. He could play it forward, but Letlako, I think, has run out of legs here on this right-hand side. He hasn't had much football of late.
They're looking a little bit dejected there.
One other game we have to add to our list of 9 goals in the game. There was a 5-4 win for Chiefs over Santos back in the 98-99 season. We're looking to see how many times a team has scored 4 goals and been on the losing side, and that is the only example we can come up with.
Not much.
Our statistician Yusuf Mohammed is doing a superb job tonight.
We'll be happy for the mention.
Now Allende, Letlaku, Saleh, sloppy. Just lost that crispness that they had earlier on. They had to take Santos off. He was beginning to tire. Quena rested, obviously, with Tuesday's game in mind. I suppose the points at the end of the day more important.
Yeah. Now stamping for a 2nd time on the ankle.
He's got to be very careful, yeah. If there was VAR, he'd be in big trouble. Any sanction, however, in the domestic league has no impact on the Champions League final. So had that been picked up by the referee, had Mudau been sent off, or if he is to be sent off, let's see what Mr. Gasa decides. He'll miss the last game of the season, and he'll miss the opening game of the next campaign, but it won't impact on him in the Champions League. So the Pirates fans will be heading home swiftly, I reckon, at the end of this game to watch On Your World the Champions, the clash against Magesi, live from Peter Mokaba Stadium in Polokwane at 8 p.m. tonight. And it's almost if Sundowns have said, over to you, Pirates. Let's see what you can do. Ndebele plays this forward. Flags up for offside against Siwelele. We are almost a minute and a half into 4 minutes added on by Mr. Gasa. Down, not the 2nd yellow for that. He wants Williams to get on with matters. He'll want to get on with matters. Can they get one more? Rainers, big clearance from Ndebele. Now Saleh takes over. Rainers trying to stay on side, unable to get onto the end of that pass, and the fans voicing their displeasure. They've been a bit spoiled tonight with these 7 goals. Markaman gets it away. Nico Morbi. two former Sundowns players, by the way. Although Moby never actually got to play for Sundowns. He was signed from Stellenbosch by them. Now we're going to get the first yellow for the visiting side. Goes to Mazibuko. That's his first career caution as well.
We're up against Kakana. Got the ball first, but the stance followed. Not many on the continent that go past this man, Kulisa Medal.
You remember that half season we had in South African football before the PSL was launched in 1996. It was called the Coca-Cola League. There was a 9-1 win for Chiefs over Manning Rangers in that competition. Manning Rangers the very next season went on to be crowned league champions. If I remember correctly, Pollen and Glanya feasted that evening.
Wow.
10 goals, but that was before the PSL started in that game. Back post chance. That is the final whistle. So we have just witnessed the highest scoring game in the history of the PSL since 1996-97 season. No two teams have delivered 11 goals. 7-4, the final score in favour of Mamelodi Sundowns. They go 6 clear at the top of the table. They are plus 37 on goal difference. Orlando Pirates 6 behind them, but with 2 games in hand. One of those games kicking off in less than an hour in Polokwane. We're still in for a big night, Stanton.
Yeah, Sundowns have done the business by scoring the goals up front, but it's at the back where they were too leaky. Credit to Siwelele that showed a lot of courage, never gave up, and managed to get the goals as well. But I think it all unraveled when the first substitute was made in the 64th minute. And Saleh is introduced, and thereafter in the 68th minute a triple change. All momentum was lost, and Sundowns just could not continue where they left off.
Siki Ntsabeleng was one of the changes for Mamelodi Sundowns. Good 90-minute performance from Marcelo Allende. And we're going to hear from Coach Siema and Miguel Cardoso. Big contribution tonight from Santos. His quality evident again as he works his way back from injury, and a timely return, you would think, with the Champions League final on the horizon. We found one other game, by the way, Stanton, before we go, of a team scoring 4 and losing. That was Ria Stars 5, Black Leopards 4, 2001. Wow. You might have been around at that time.
I think Teko Modise might have been at least.
He could have been. Final score here, a PSL record, 11 goals as Sundowns move 6 clear at the top of the table. 7-4, it's ended.
Well, a thoroughly entertaining game that we had here at the Lucas Moripe Stadium. It's one of those where it will be remembered for years to come because of the sheer volume of goals and, of course, the goal-scoring prowess of the likes of Brian Leon, who is our player of the match today. I'm going to have a chat with him. Of course, he's got Marcelo Allende to translate here. Brian, I'm going to start. Felicidades. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Hola, muy bien, contento por la victoria. Bueno, creo que marcar 3 goles primera vez desde que juego fútbol, muy feliz.
I don't know if you're going to translate for us.
Oh, he say he's very happy for the 3 points, for the first hat-trick here in South Africa, and happy for the team also. So
I'm going to go back to English now. Marcelo, if you can just translate for him. In terms of the overall performance today, how happy is he with his display? And, of course, did Sundowns want to score a lot of goals today?
Te pregunta de qué opinas del partido de hoy, si estás contento con el resultado, con los goles que hiciste, qué opinas del partido de hoy.
Bueno, creo que era un partido que teníamos que haber ganado por más goles, creo que tuvimos más opciones. Bueno, creo que el resultado bien porque ganamos, pero sabíamos que podíamos hacer mejor las cosas y bueno, creo que muy feliz por eso, por la victoria también.
He say we couldn't score a lot of more goals. We miss a lot, and we make some mistake at the back. But the important was the win, the 3 points, and now to put pressure to the other team and waiting for them and preparing for the next game.
And how important is it to keep scoring goals and find more goals in that last game against TS Galaxy?
Dice, qué importante hacer la mayor cantidad de goles en el siguiente partido. Vamos a salir con la misma mentalidad. ¿Qué opinas de eso?
Bueno, sí, creo que tenemos que salir con esa mentalidad de arrasar, de querer hacer más goles. Y bueno, creo que hay que pasarle esta conversación a los compañeros para que también tengan la misma mentalidad que nosotros.
We need to go with the same mentality. Of course, first win the game and try to score the more goal possible. So this it's okay.
All right, so well, thank you very much, and muchas gracias. Thank you very much for your time, Brian Leon, with regards to the outcome of this particular game. Coach Cardoso joins me now. Coach, it looked like at some stage you guys were going to score 15 goals in today's game. Such was the brilliant start you had. What did you make, I guess, of the match in its entirety?
Yeah, I think we even scored the third one. The two scores quite fair, not offside. So when you risk so much and you put so much energy, there will be moments that or you master in defense or you cannot do it. I understood that the energy of the boys inside the pitch was to indeed go and score. But really to achieve a result in a match like this that could take us for 7, 8, 9 goals, you could not suffer for. Otherwise, in the end, it's basically the same as win 3 or 4-0. And our defense was not on that level, so the defense could not really cope with the capacity that the attack showed. We also had less numbers in balancing the team, of course. So, well, important victory, 3 points. We are 3 points away from finishing the championship, 1 match. Let's win the match and see what comes from there. Also, it was important to understand that there's a moment that I had to manage the team. And obviously, it's not the same. We understood that also the team dropped when we made substitutions. The players that were on the pitch were on the limit. We're going to play in 3 days. In 4 days, we play Champions League after TS Galaxy match. And as much as I wanted, there was a big risk of injuries. Tashrik is on the wire, thin wire on those legs. Brian already for the second match. Nuno coming from a muscular injury. Artur also not very calm. So a lot of problems that people don't know at home. It seems that, but we are struggling. We are struggling a lot. Look, we are fighting everything. We are fighting calendar. We are fighting. I don't want to tell more. We are fighting against everything, and maybe even people that is at home watching the games from sofas. But okay, we are strong enough. Let's rest now and prepare Galaxy and finish the championship, and then we see.
Of course, in such a situation, it's almost a case of just controlling what you can, and no doubt you'll want to do that when you go into that game against TS Galaxy.
Absolutely. I think we are in a very discomfortable situation when you have to think that after that match in 4 days you're going to be playing one of the most important games that can be played in a football player or a coach or a club's life, and we don't feel any support on it. I can tell you one thing. People will maybe not accept what I'm going to say, but I know that as far on the following day we played against Kaizer Chiefs, had a wide-angle video from our game delivered. I know because someone saw. So we are fighting against a lot of things, but we are strong enough to deal with everything.
You said something early on in the season. You said in difficult situation you'll be champion. In good situation you'll be champion. I guess you were already speaking about all of these challenges without even knowing about it.
Yeah, I said that last year. Last year was a season completely different from this one. This season was a walk in the park for some of our opponents. We've been fighting like big men with a lot of commitment, with a lot of will to overcome difficulties. and we will continue until the limit of our strengths. I feel privileged to be here, to be coach of this team, to be coach of this group of players that are very resilient and still find energy where I think that there's nothing to give. But the guys are magnificent, and I'm very proud of that.
Coach, all the best for that next game.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Coach Miguel Cardoso there, speaking very passionately about, I guess, some of the challenges he feels his team have had, both on and off the field. A good embrace between the two coaches as the coach walks off. Coach Siema joins me now. Coach Siema, let's take a minute just to take it all in. I mean, if my maths is correct, 11 goals, an incredible spectacle for the fans. But for you, how did you see it?
I think we just we considered soft goals, especially first half, and they're not doing anything that is new. We spoke about it, the ball over the top, and we suffered on those. Even when they went wide, it was not the crosses that were hard. It was just a dinked ball, because we said that if they go wide, they'll look for. They are not the team that is playing from crosses. They'll just dink it and find the player. But yeah, we just considered soft goals that at halftime we all were analysing them, and all of us we saw that they agreed that it shouldn't have been goals. But credit must go to the players. Look, this team, if you come, you watched here, you didn't say the score is 7-4. And it's for the first time we score 4 goals. You score 4 goals against the team that is playing Champions League final soon. And this is a team we are building, and you can see even the subs that we did, the young guys that we put in. Like we said, that this season we knew that it was going to be tough for us. But we kept on going, kept on fighting. It's always never easy to come and play Sundowns here. But credit to the players, and I'm not going to stand here and say, no, I blame them for 7 goals. No, we scored 4 goals in that 7 goals, and then against Sundowns. And we could have defended better, but effort and the commitment to the players, we can see they are not under stress, because we know where we are. The season has been very, very difficult for them, and there's 2 games that are left. We have to just make sure that one at home, we make sure that we get those points, and then we go to the last game and see what happens.
Coach, I'm sorry we have to cut it short. We do have to go to the next game. All the best for the next game, and I'm sure proud of your boys' fight today.
That's for sure. I'm proud of the boys. Thank you very much, sir.
Well, it's a wrap from us here at the Lucas Moripa Stadium. 11 goals in total between Sundowns as well as Siwelele. We've got another big one. It is Pirates taking on Makesi. That one from Pulukwane. Miguel Khan is our winner for Sponise, and win 20,000 Rand for him, as he is a Betway account holder. Miguel, tell me now, how are you feeling at the moment? I'm sure over the moon.
Extravagant, man. I'm just so happy to be here. I'm so happy that I won. It was a lovely game, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course, you've seen a lot of goals today, so I guess you've got a bit of a double with regards to a treat today.
Of course. I've never seen my team score 7 goals like this. What a game, you know, and what a win for me as well. It's one to remember for the rest of my life.
Of course, I have to ask you about your outfit. Take me through it and how you put it together.
Oh, you know, surprisingly, my cousin over there, he was the one that came up with the idea, and I wanted to pull off something like this, you know. And yeah, it was just a family thing, you know. Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you so much.